Coming up tonight on Murrow News 8, two major resignations happen in the world of politics, including Washington State University's ASWSU president.
Plus, McCarthy is out of the House Speaker race.
And a burger restaurant starts from humble beginnings. All that and more tonight on Murrow News 8.
From Studio B on the campus of Washington State University, this is Pullman's only nightly newscast. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening and welcome to Murrow News 8. I'm Amanda Beltran.
And I'm Julia Rogoshkina. Thanks for joining us tonight.
A big shakeup in the WSU student government. ASWSU President Adam Crouch suddenly resigned at their meeting last night. Murrow News 8's Kevin Fisher is in our newsroom and has more.
It was a surprising development indeed. Just 7 weeks into the term, President Adam Crouch has announced his resignation, citing personal reasons for his decision. It was only last March that Crouch and Kyle Geiger won the student election with just over 60% of the vote. I reached out to both Crouch and Geiger for comments on the story, but both were unavailable. ASWSU also declined to comment beyond confirming that Crouch had indeed cited personal reasons for his resignation. Crouch's decision becomes official tomorrow at 5 p.m. and Vice President Geiger will assume the role of president for the remainder of the term. Geiger says the executive branch hopes to select a vice president within the next week. Murrow News 8 will be following the story. Back to you, Amanda.
Thanks, Kevin. In a matter of days, a GoFundMe account in memory of a WSU student and Phi Delta Theta member has raised more than $8,000 for Kyler Robinson, who died Sunday morning. Dozens of students and friends of Robinson held a candlelight vigil Wednesday night. Robinson's fraternity set up the GoFundMe to help cover funeral costs and ease the burden on his family.
A third recreational pot shop could come to Bishop Boulevard. TH Consulting of Spokane submitted the application late last month. The new shop would share a driveway with We're Just Bud's pot shop. According to Washington state law, Pullman is allowed to have 3 pot shops within city limits. The proposal includes the installation of modular structure and the creation of 10 parking spaces. Avista Utilities has plugged a gas leak in Spokane this morning. Construction crews hit a gas line, resulting in the closure of the intersection of Division Street and Lincoln around 9:30 a.m. The northbound lanes on Division were closed. Spokane Fire Department, Avista, and Washington State Patrol all responded to the scene.
The University of Oregon is giving back to Umpqua Community College. The athletic department at the University of Oregon announced today that they are offering free tickets to staff and students from UCC to Saturday's game against the Cougs. The website says once the person puts their information in, they will receive a promotional code for up to 4 free tickets. U.S. Airman First Class Spencer Stone is known as an international hero for stopping a gun attack on European train last month. He's being treated for stab wounds and in California hospital in serious conditions. Stone was in an altercation after a night out with some friends, but there are no allocations on whether or not the brawl was due to Stone's fame. As of now, the case is still under investigation.
At least 4 Russian missiles crashed as they flew over Iran today. U.S. officials say that the missiles were originally aimed at targets in Syria. Russian ships are known to be positioned in the south of Caspian Sea, meaning that the missiles aimed at targets in Syria would cross over Iran. As of right now, it is unknown if any civilians were hit. GOP House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy made a stunning move this afternoon when he pulled himself out of the race to be the next House Speaker. Murrow News 8's Scott Brewster has the story.
I think I shocked some of you, huh?
What many thought would be a formality turned into chaos on Capitol Hill.
People are absolutely stunned.
Congressman and House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy was the frontrunner for House Speaker, unexpectedly dropped out on Thursday just as Republicans gathered to hold a closed-door vote, which has now been postponed.
The one thing I found in talking to everybody, if we are going to unite and be strong, we need a new face to help do that.
Republicans were supposed to hold a secret ballot vote Thursday to determine who they would nominate as Speaker.
Kevin McCarthy had a strong majority of support in the conference here today. I don't believe he had 218 votes.
Which is the number of votes required to be confirmed by the entire House of Representatives. Going into today, it was a 3-man race for Speaker: McCarthy, Utah's Jason Chavertz, and Florida's Daniel Webster. Webster was endorsed by the House Freedom Caucus, a collection of conservatives who some believe was the reason why Speaker John Boehner is stepping down in the first place.
We're looking for a speaker who works with conservatives rather than against us.
Republicans said they plan to gather in the coming days to figure out their move.
Our conference is going to have to do a lot of deep soul searching, and we'll see what happens.
For Murrow News 8, I'm Scott Brewster.
Coming up after the break, Evan Barron will fill us in on the weather for the upcoming weekend.
And Kalinda Kindle covers the top sports stories.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
It was extremely cloudy here on the Palouse today.
Yes, it was. Evan, what can we expect for the upcoming weekend?
Well, Julia, we can expect those clouds to stick around heading into the weekend. As we saw today, it was mostly cloudy, and today's high was 73, a little bit above average from what we've normally seen. Heading into tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be really warm early on, so if you want to get outside, I highly suggest you do so. Maybe toss a pigskin around, get ready for Cougar football Saturday. It's going to deteriorate towards the evening, the temperature. Looking at the state map, from what we've seen, it's been mostly cloudy on the west side of the state. Vancouver, 73 with the high. Shifting over to the east side of the state, and we see that same trend of it being cloudy. So, and with Pullman being 73 as the high. So looking at our 5-day forecast, we will expect it to be cloudy on Saturday, but those clouds will soon start to go away towards the end of the week. And you can expect it to get pretty cold starting with Tuesday and Wednesday, so make sure to bring a jacket if you plan on going outside early that morning on those days. That's all the weather we have for you tonight. Stay tuned to hear about the wild events at last night's National League wildcard game. Kalinda Kindle has that in all the sports. Stay with us.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun? Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you feel the sun?
And welcome back. I'm Kalinda Kindle with all of your sports news. Continues to disappoint the state of South Carolina. This time it involves football, where the South Carolina Gamecocks have decided to give up Saturday's home game against the number 7 ranked LSU Tigers because of the devastating floods. However, the show must go on, which means the game will now be played in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, also known as Tiger Country. And gather in Boulder Gym tomorrow evening at 6 to watch WSU face Arizona. Both teams are neck and neck in rankings. Arizona's current ranking is 12-5 and Washington State is 12-4. And that's all the news sports news I have for you tonight. Coming up after the break, our own Murrow News 8 reporter Kayla Lafferty tells us about the new burger joint in Moscow.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Here in Pullman, everyone knows Cougar Country has some of the best burgers. But will Humble Burger in Moscow make some tough competition? Our reporter Kayla Lafferty takes a bite after the story.
Down Main Street in Moscow, Idaho sits a small but thriving new restaurant with an interesting beginning. Humble Burger opened just 2 weeks ago and is already making a name for itself. The community has given it a reputation of having the best burgers on the Palouse. This community support did not start with the opening of the restaurant, but really the restaurant is only here because of the support given by the people of the Palouse. Humble Burger started as a stand at the Moscow Farmers Market, and people loved their food. They wanted to move from stand to full-blown restaurant, and how they got that done was a Kickstarter.
When we decided to run or start putting this together, we really wanted to involve the community as well, because we'd always had so much support.
They started with a goal of raising $8,000, and to the surprise of the owners, they hit that goal overnight. They were able to raise just over $14,000 in donations to fund their dream.
It's been really surprising that there's been so much support.
Humble Burger prides themselves in providing food that they would feed their families that doesn't break the bank.
So we put a lot of care into selecting our ingredients. We try to strike a balance between affordability, local, ethical and intentional, and those sorts of things.
A restaurant with humble beginnings found its home here in Moscow. I'm Kayla Lafferty with Murrow News 8.
The 2016 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees include some new faces. Janet Jackson, who recently released her first album in 7 years, is one of the few new inductees. Other inductees nominated to the class of 2016 include Chicago, Steve Miller, Chaka Khan, and Los Lobos. It's going to cost more for your Netflix account. The standard plan of $8.99 will now hike to $9.99. $1 raise will affect new subscribers in the United States, Canada, and Latin America right away. However, the existing subscribers will continue paying that old price for a whole year.
That's all we have news for tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Please join us every night at 7 and 10 p.m. and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.